Hey everyone, it's Chris, and I'm here to film a theater tag.
Dressing them up, I love the dressing them up. The subtle tilt of a hat, touches like that make me the best of the.
So we're going to start. But the first question is your favorite Shakespeare play. Here's my complete Pelican Shakespeare. This is a really hard question for me. I love a lot of Shakespeare plays. I'm picking Titus Andronicus by William Shakespeare because I haven't read a revenge tragedy quite like Titus Andronicus at all. Out of like all the revenge tragedies that I've read. Nothing quite like Titus Andronicus, and definitely no other revenge tragedy quite like Titus Andronicus by Shakespeare. So I'm gonna go with Titus Andronicus, which I think is a better revenge tragedy than Hamlet. Just saying. And I enjoy Hamlet, but I love it. Like Titus Andronicus, go for it. It's gory. It's messed up. It's intense. Number 2 is your favorite classic play. Another really hard question, but for this one I'm going with The Duchess of Malfoy. The Duchess of Malfoy is a play by John Webster. It is about a duchess who marries below her class and then her brothers seek revenge for it. It is a tragedy. And I think I'm picking for my favorite classic is because I've done such an in-depth study of The Duchess of Malfoy. We read it in one of my senior seminar class, and we talked about so many different issues within the play, and it was just one of my favorites from that year. So I definitely had to go with The Duchess of Malfoy for my favorite classic right now. Number 3 is your favorite modern play. I've seen this play pretty recently, and it is The Shape of Things. Okay, so I was not prepared for The Shape of Things when I went to The Shape of Things. It is a really, really, really fantastic play that about some characters who are not very good people and some characters who are misguided and a character who you really feel for by the end of the play, and it's just brilliant. I don't really know how to describe a shape of things without spoiling, so if someone does know how to describe it without spoiling it, you should do so in the comments for everyone, because yeah, I really can't right now, but I really enjoy it. Definitely one of my favorite modern plays, for sure. I need to see the film, because I haven't seen the film yet. The next one's favorite musical, and this is such a hard question for me, because I'm thinking of like some classic musicals. I'm thinking like Kiss of a Spider Woman. I'm thinking Rat. I'm thinking Hedwig, and I can't really choose between these musicals right now. If you're forcing me to choose which musical if only could pick one musical to listen to ever again, it would probably be Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And so I'm gonna go with Hedwig and the Angry Inch for favorite musical. Favorite playwright. And for that I'm going with, this actually might be a surprise. This might actually be a surprise. I'm going with Tennessee Williams. I love The Glass Menagerie. Like, it's just one of my favorite things ever. I'm pretty sure this is from my high school. Maybe I should have put this on film. Oh well, it's on here now. Anyway, I've had this book for a while. This is one of my favorite plays ever. I absolutely love The Glass Menagerie so much. But that's not the only Tennessee Williams play that I really like. I really like A Death of a Salesman, A Streetcar Named Desire, and also just like Tennessee Williams' life was so interesting to me. Like he's one playwright that I've read a lot about, and I've always thought about what his life was like at different times while he's writing, and he is reflected in his characters. I think he's reflected a bit in Tom. I know his sister is reflected quite a bit in the character of Laura, and so I really love Tennessee Williams, and I'm gonna go with that. Last play you saw, that was Turn That Thing Around, a Manic Narrator's Longest Ride at the Gorilla Tango Theater. I'm kind of involved in the production for that play. My boyfriend, my fiance, wrote it, and so I've gone to see it many times, and I'm going to see it a couple more times after filming this at the Chicago Fringe Festival. I'm really excited for it. It is a play about a bisexual guy named Jack who has an HIV test, and then while he's waiting for this results, because the results takes a few days, he goes into a full-out manic episode while on a car ride to New Hampshire where he's supposed to be a camp counselor. And it is such an intense film, intense play. It's such an intense play. I every time I've watched it, I have cried. Like, every single time. Especially during this one section of it where it's just, you kind of see his breakdown and what's going on in his head. And it is really heart-wrenching and just something I've cried at every time I've seen it. Last play you read. For that, it's probably considered Spider-Woman. I've read it like about a month ago, and I don't think I've really read a play since then, unless you want to count Hold Me Closer to Danny Cooper's story. I just started that though, and I haven't really finished it. But like, yeah, Kiss of Spider-Woman is a fantastic play. If you don't know what it's about, go look it up. It's just so brilliant, and I love the songs. Some of the songs, like I know dressing them up from start to finish. Like I can just start it right now without the music. It's this a part of me. So, favorite play adaptation. I'm really leaving so many things out that I wish I could say, but I'm gonna say one that I think a lot of people aren't gonna agree with, and that is the movie version of The Revenge of Tragedy that stars Christopher Eccleston. The Revenge of Tragedy is a revenge tragedy. With a lead guy named Vindice in it. And in the movie version, Christopher Eccleston plays him, and I absolutely loved it. He was just fantastic. This was actually before I saw him in Doctor Who when I watched it. But I just was like, the way he played the character was so different from the way that I thought the character was going to be, but it worked so well. And the movie did some changes from the play that I enjoyed. They gave the sister's character more agency than she has in the actual play, like a lot more agency that I think that the play like highlights for her, and I really enjoyed that. I liked that she was a part of the revenge plot as much as the brothers were, and so I really enjoyed the movie. The next question is, if you could play any character in a play, regardless of age, gender, or ethnicity, who would you play? For this one, I'm kind of stuck between two, one a more comic character than the other. The first one is Prospero from The Tempest. I've done the monologue where he speaks to Ariel in a class before, and it was just really, really fun to do. I dressed up, I had a staff and everything. It was just a lot of fun, so I think that one would be one that I might want to do. And the other option was the Drowsy Chaperone from the musical The Drowsy Chaperone. That would be a really funny role. I get to be drunk during the Prohibition on stage and probably wear a wig if I want it and stuff. You know, that'd just be fun, I think. And I get to make love on stage, so. Okay, the next question is, have you ever been involved in theater? And the answer to that question is yes, I have. I did theater in high school. I did it a little bit in college. I took a class and I did some improv in college as well. But I've never really been much of an actor, I don't think. I'm more of a behind-the-scenes script person. And most recently, I have been behind the scenes on the play Turn That Thing Around, which I mentioned in an earlier question. I have done some communication stuff for that play, and also done some of the shopping for the costumes, which was my first time ever doing costumes, like ever doing costumes. So that was a lot of fun. And one of my favorite experiences in theater has been actually getting to see the costumes on the actors on stage in the production, because that's the first time I've had that, like, oh, I bought these pieces for you guys when I had your measurements and all these things, but I haven't seen it on some of them yet, and it was just really, really nice experience for me, so I really enjoyed that. I'm tagging some people who I think like theater and plays and stuff, but if you guys don't, you don't have to do this, obviously, but Malia Marie, because I'm pretty sure you were planning on doing this tag anyway. Number two is going to be Jeremy from Books and Plays and Comics and Jeremy. You have plays in your title, and I know you have been recently involved in a theater production of Rocky Horror, and I'd like to hear more about your theater experience, so I'm going to tag you. Next up, Eric Esther. I think you like theater or some way involved in theater. I don't really remember. Cody Captures, because I'm pretty sure they have mentioned theater on Twitter at some point. I could be wrong. My reasoning for these people are starting to not sound good. Anyway, next, Turtle Sympathy, because you created the Spring Awakening book tag, which I'm still going to do, and still haven't done yet. And I know you like theater because of that and other reasons. So definitely going to tag Edward over at Turtle Sympathy. That one English grad student, because I feel like you have to probably read a lot of plays in grad school, depending on the types of English classes you're choosing. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tag you. Erica from Snogging on Sunday Books. We've talked about I love Shakespeare, so I'm going to go ahead and tag you for this. thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. So that's all for my tags. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope anyone who wants to do this tag does it. I love theater. If you like theater, do this tag. It's just do it. Don't wait for someone to tag you. If you want someone to tag you, you can tell one of the people I just tag you are. I just tagged you. But I don't know if you feel that's appropriate way of tagging you, like if I didn't say your name, but like honestly, that is me showing my love.